new beat to your drum. Let's chase success with global.media.com. Then celebrate it with or without champagne or...
All right, I think we are live. Are we live?
Yes, we are live. We are good to go.
Okay. Awesome. Well, hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are coming in from. We just want to say welcome. It is the last Friday of the month, which you know what that means. This is our gratitude experience in our Positivity Live call. So we're excited that you're here today. If you're joining us, no matter where you're coming from, do us a favor and get into the chat and let us know where you're tuning in from so we can shout you out. You know, we always like to read comments during the call. So let us know where you're from. If you want to jump on the call, we're going to go ahead and post a link in the chat too as well. So this way you can jump on. And today is a great call. You know, we do this every month. It is our positivity gratitude experience call where we talk about all the things that we are grateful for in the month, right? Whether it's all year or just in April, whatever you are grateful for, whatever gratitude you have, whatever positivity you're bringing, please come on here and share a little bit of what you're grateful for and tell us what's going on in your life. And even if something is going on that maybe is tough in your life right now, you know, we would love to hear about it. You know, everybody's here with you. And we are all on this call together. So there's nothing on here that is off limits. Everybody is able to share their opinions, share their thoughts. It's a safe space. And that's what the gratitude experience call is all about. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and share my, I'm going to introduce myself to everybody. I'm also going to have Zion introduce himself. And he may be joining us too as well. But we're going to be introducing ourselves, and then we're going to talk about some of the things that we are grateful for in our lives. And then hopefully we get some other people up here too to be able to share their thoughts as well. I'm looking on here. I already see our first comment is coming from Funmi. Funmi is joining us from Benin City, Nigeria. Good to see another Nigerian join us on this call. Obviously from where Zion is too, so that's great. Welcome, Funmi. Thanks for joining us here. For those who don't know me, I am Jamie Edwards. I am coming from the United States, right outside of Chicago, Illinois. So I am about 1 hour from Chicago. And basically what I do is I do career coaching. So I help people with different parts of their job search. I have my own company, as you can see on the screen there. I have my own company called Jam Sessions with Jamie, and I help people with 3 different parts of their job search. I write resumes for people. I help people with interview practice and being able to answer certain types of questions during the interview process so they stand out and can land their next opportunity. And I also help people with their LinkedIn profile as well. I will redesign anyone's LinkedIn profile and help them with a new banner, a headline, a content creation strategy, how to basically make themselves visible so they can get noticed by recruiters and hiring managers. So I've been doing this now on my own for about 3 years. You know, I've worked with many different clients, everybody from college graduates to people who are just getting started in their career, to people who are already in their mid stage of their career, or even VPs and executives. I've worked with so many different types of people, and my goal is to get people noticed, get people back on their feet, and get people into a new job opportunity that they love, so they can start affording the things they want to afford, right? It's tough when you lose your job. You know, there's people every day who are losing their job. They're getting laid off. They're either leaving their job because they're in a toxic workplace, or they got laid off and had the carpet pulled out from under them. My job is to make sure those people don't sit on the sidelines for that long, and they're able to get back in the workforce and be able to afford paying their mortgage, putting food on the table, paying their bills. That's what I do. Like I said, my company is called Jam Sessions with Jamie, and if you want to learn more about what I do, and if you're in the market for a job, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Send me a message on LinkedIn. Check out my website, jamsessionswithjamie.com. I would love to have a one-on-one conversation with you and let you know how I can help you out. And also learn more about your job search and what your aspirations are as well. So that's a little bit about me. I don't see anyone else commenting in the chat at this time, but please go ahead and let us know if you where you're coming from. We want to shout out your comments. We want to hear from you. We want to make you seen and heard. I'm going to pass it over to my co-host here. I'm not the only one, obviously, doing this call. So the host with the most is here. That is Zion Inogieru, the man behind the smile right there. Go ahead and introduce yourself, my friend.
A privilege to get to host this event with you on every Friday. And for everyone who are joining us from all over the world, want to say a big welcome to you. Welcome to another edition of our Positivity Life event. Just like King Jamie said earlier, today is our gratitude experience, a time where we tend to share about the things that we are grateful for. So I'm going to dive deeper into that right now. But for those who don't know me, you're seeing me on the screen for the very first time. My name is Zion Inaugural, your Mr. Positive Energy. A man who is on a mission to spread positivity to every corner of the earth, one person at a time. Growing gradually, we are turning that into 1 million people at a time using the power of social media and using the power of the internet. For me, I'm a positivity coach and mentor. I help individuals and businesses alike embrace the power of positivity to ignite their career and to ignite their business so that they can achieve success. And I also help host online events. For anyone out there, you have a message, you have a voice, you want to make an impact, but yet you are not visible. You want to stay visible, you want to put yourself in the front of the target audience. Feel free, reach out to me. Let's help you make that dream become a reality through online events where you can be able to be vocal, where you can be able to talk about your dreams, your vision, your passion, and the impact you're making, just so as to amplify your voice and amplify you as a person. Great. We are taking online events to a whole new level. We are using online events to write books now. So we're not just helping you host online events. From the online event that we are hosting with you, you can automatically become a best-selling author through online events. So there's so many packages, there's so many goodies involved in it. If you are someone and this resonates with you, feel free, reach out to us. Let's go on a journey of positivity together. So for me, I'm very excited about today's event. And I invite everyone, for those of us who are joining us on LinkedIn, the link is already in the comment section where you can come on the backstage and be part of the conversation. For me, I always say this, everyone has a story to share. As our faces are different, so our experiences about life are different. And the ability for you to come up on stage to share, to inspire more people, that's where the real impact is. Because somebody out there might just be waiting to hear your story. Somebody out there might just be waiting to hear about the testament, the testimonies, the trials, the mess you have to go through, but now you're becoming the message. People might just be waiting to hear. So feel free, don't be shy, join us on stage, and we'll be so glad to have you as we share more positivity to every corner of the earth together. In the meantime, as I was speaking, we have the Godfather in the building with us, Mr. Annie, all the way from the UK. Mr. Annie, welcome, sir. How are you doing? I'm all right. I think that's the response I was waiting to hear. You are muted. Let me see if I can unmic you.
Oh, okay. Sorry
Yeah.
about that. So I said, no, life is great. Life is great. Glad to be here, of course. And I said, there are other people here, but Restream is not talking to StreamYard or to LinkedIn very well. Is what it looks like. Who did I
Yeah.
see? I see Kim's here as well. So Kim Chapman is here. How you doing, Kim? Glad you're here. Welcome. Welcome. Hello, everyone from Alabama. So glad you're here, my friend. Look, for those who know me, those who don't know me, it's always good to remind people, right? They do
Yeah.
forget who we are in between our events, even though I do quite a few events myself, right? So, and I say I'm doing what I do best, what gives me joy, which is publishing books for my friends. I've just published William Plange's first children's book. So Giovanni and his adventures. So look out for that. So that's going to be live on a bookstore in the next few days. So I think, look, if you want help to write your book, if you want help to finish your book, there's things that always need doing: editing, cover design, those sort of things we do. Of course, then we'll also publish books. I said my real passion these days is trying to work out that hole, that black hole that no one sees what happens, which is how do you actually sell books? So I just spend my whole days thinking, planning, plotting, and designing solutions. And I say, we just arrived at, I guess it's not SEO, it's how to get found online these days, which means knowing how to talk to AI and the AI platforms. That way you're visible. And before you say, oh, well, no one's looking on AI, people are looking for you on AI. People are searching ChatGPT and Gemini these days and Claude, right? That's what they're searching for answers. So we've worked out how to give those signals that gives you as the answer to search. And said, please don't forget, Google is the biggest AI platform there ever has been. You do a search on Google, you see that these days you get AI results first. So we all need to be there. My authors' friends need to be there. So we're designing solutions which will put you at the top of the list, which is nice. It's a great place to be. And that's one of the things I'm grateful for in terms of life gives me these gifts to serve our friends. And we'll keep serving, Mrs. Z. We'll keep serving, my friend. We just keep serving, right? There's many more things that we're up to. I'm sure I'll tell you as time goes on, right? I'll give them back to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Erning. Absolutely, thank you. It's so amazing just to hear the impact you're making and the amount of people that is being influenced and impacted by what we are doing as individual and collectively as a people. Because for me, one thing I'm always excited about is we are all about people. It's about supporting people, amplifying people's voice, and helping our friends. For us, we make friends. So it's not just clients or having people who patronize us. It's our friends. We make friends. We build relationship with friends. And at the end of the day, these are friends that we buy from, they buy from us, and together we are growing and together we are making more money. So thank you so much, Mr. Eni, and congratulations to William Plank for his new book, which will be available in the next few days. And I know that there's so many exciting books are coming up. And for me, we are looking forward to the remaining part of the year 2026 because there's so much possibilities awaiting us. So thank you so much again, Mr. Enning. I'll pass the mic to King Jimmy, who is our chief host for today for our gratitude call, so that he can just kick us off on the conversation and then we all can jump in. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you for the introductions, everybody. Good to see us all on the call together. And let's see. Zion sending a shout out to Kim, saying first happy Friday. Yes. I'm not sure. Am I not seeing many of the comments, or am I not seeing a lot of people comment in general? I think I only see Funme's comment. That's about it. Are you guys seeing other comments that I'm not seeing?
They're there. People are there. They haven't said hello yet.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure.
They will do as time goes on.
There we go. Look at Maria Simonetti says in nice capital letters, hello all. Good to see you, Maria. Thank you for joining our call. Yes, we want to see the comments. We want to see you excited to be here. We're excited to be here. Zion just sent over the link. So if you want to click on that link and you want to come up here on stage, we'll get you in the waiting room. And then we'll bring you up on stage so you can share your thoughts on what you're grateful for in the month of April, right? So I'm just going to kind of kick things off here and talk about, things I'm grateful for, right, this month. The first thing I want to talk about first off is, I'm grateful for being here, right? I'm grateful for being here. I'm grateful for putting 2 feet on the ground. I'm grateful for waking up every day and opening my eyes and give glory to God for that, right? And that's something I always will start with when I'm grateful for, right? Because life tomorrow's never promised, right? So that's the first thing I'm very grateful for. I'm grateful for the nice weather is coming, right? I'm grateful for the birds outside chirping and nature doing its thing. I mean, we're finally, if out here in Illinois, it's been a longer winter, right? And it's been colder out. We're finally starting to get some warm weather, and the leaves are the flowers are blooming, and the leaves are coming on trees. And I'm grateful for that nice warm weather coming soon, because I feel like when the warm weather is here, it puts me in a happier mood and a more energetic mood, and that's something I'm definitely grateful for. I am grateful for my health, right? I'm grateful for my health and that my mom is doing better. Several months ago, I don't remember if I talked about this, but my mom was going through some kidney issues, and we were supposed to take a family vacation in March. And we ended up going on vacation because my mom got better, but she was in January and February, she was going through some health issues. And praise to the glory of God and her and her doctors helping her out and everything. She's doing much better now. Just so grateful for that, and grateful that my mom's in better health and better spirits. So I'm super grateful for that. Maria says April's the best month, my birthday month. Maria, when's your birthday? What day is it? Because did you already have your birthday, or is it coming up? Because we're almost at the end of April. So let me know what day it is. But happy birthday to you. I want to say I'm also grateful for obviously being able to do this call every week, right? We've been doing this call for so long now. We've always had different topics to talk about. I've been sharing this call with the same hosts all the time. These are my brothers, my family, right? It's great, We've been doing this all across the world, right? Spreading positivity and doing these things. And I'm so grateful to be able to do this together with them. So, and being able to have everybody who joins us every single week, right? Everybody who's been in here every single week joining us, some who are, even if it's your first week, I'm grateful that people show up to these calls and let us be a part of your week. Maria says her birthday was the 12th. That was a couple weeks ago. Well, happy birthday, Maria. So glad you're here. I'm also grateful for just everybody that I've been able to work with on their job search, right? Everybody that I've been able to help out get a job, whether it's been some people who've paid for my services or those who've reached out to me asking me just quick questions and wanting to pick my brain. I'm grateful that people put trust in me and want me to help them out. And come to me when there are so many different people they could go to. They come to me, they want to work with me, they want me to help them out. I'm grateful for the trust that people put in me. So those are a lot of things that I'm grateful for. Like I said, I'm grateful for Olivia, my daughter. She's almost 6 years old. She'll be 6 in June. She's growing so fast. She's doing great in school. Love my little girl. I'm grateful for Erica, my partner. Things are great with everybody. The family's doing well. Grateful for my entire family. So just overall, these are the things I'm grateful for. And I know that not everything's always going to be perfect and great, right? But even when things are bad, I always look to the things that I'm grateful for and the things that I do have in my life, because those are the most important things. I'm not going to dwell on the things that are going bad. I'm going to be excited for the things that are going that I'm grateful for and the things I do have in my life, right? So that's what I am grateful for, and I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to my co-hosts here so they can talk about what they're grateful for. We got Frank in the house from Lagos. Good to see you, Frank. Thanks for being here. Maria's from the Netherlands, but she was born and raised a New Yorker, but she's in the Netherlands now, I think. So that's a big change coming from the States all the way out to the Netherlands. So good to see you once again, Maria. Thank you for all your comments. Lisa says happy Friday. Annie invited her over here. Good to see you again, Lisa. Thanks for being here. And I'm going to pass it over to, let's go Zion. Zion, go ahead and tell us what you're grateful for, all right? You got that big smile on your face. Tell us what's going on.
All right, thank you so much, King Zimmy, for inspiring us with your story. That's a whole lot, to be grateful for as a person. And for me, I tell you, gratitude is a major game changer for anyone. It does not matter the level you are in life. For some, you might be so successful right now. While for some, you are still coming up, you are still building, and you've not attained that height yet. But I told you, like I said, it doesn't matter the level you are or the phase you are in life. Being able to embrace gratitude, it's very, very important. I've seen people who might have achieved their goals, but they feel so empty. They feel so empty, like they've not achieved anything. Why? Because they are not embracing gratitude enough. Why? For some, because they've not been able to get to the vision or the goal they want to get to, they feel, oh, there is nothing to be grateful for. But I tell you, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter where you're from, it doesn't matter what you're going through right now. There are thousands and thousands of reasons that you can be grateful for. I must say, thousands of reasons. For me, embracing gratitude in the month of April has really been powerful for me. Every day was a day for me to remind myself that, well, we have to stay grateful because when we embrace gratitude, it helps us to count our blessings. Most times we feel like we don't have anything because well, maybe peradventure you have not attained that which you want to attain. Maybe you have set 10 goals in the year 2026, and this is April, you just achieved one. And for you, you're not happy with yourself. You're like, oh, I'm not making progress. Oh, I'm not doing anything. Oh, I'm not attaining the goals I should attain. But I tell you, for the fact that you could even achieve one out of a thing, it's something that you have to be grateful for. That's how we're doing this call every month, every last Friday of every month, just to bring that intentionality, to bring the awareness, to let people know and understand that your life is filled with blessings every day. Your life is filled with goodness every day. And the ability for you to take a pause and intentionally look at your life, it gives you that privilege where you can be able to count your blessings. Like I always say, being alive is the greatest gift you have had today. I will say that again. Just being alive is the greatest gift you have had today. Maybe somebody has not given you a wrapped gift before for you to unwrap it and say, oh, there's a gift inside. Oh, maybe somebody sent you money or you have a client. All these things are good. But you being alive is one of the greatest gifts you have today. And I think you should appreciate it more. Appreciate being alive. You're doing business, you're thinking about your family, you're thinking about the vacation, you're thinking about what will happen next week, you're thinking about the goal, you're thinking about everything you have planned at the beginning of the year. All these are possible because you are alive. Because you are alive. I had a conversation with someone within the week, and the person was like, oh, my life is so miserable. Oh, my life is not the way it should be. All these things are just I took about just look at like, okay, now are you done? The person was like, yes, I'm done. Like, okay, let's critically look at this. I don't think your life is actually really miserable. The person was like, yes, you are even putting on a good clothes. It's a sign that your life is not miserable. You have a roof over your head. You had a meal this morning. You had lunch, and you're going to have dinner today. It's a sign that you are truly blessed as a person. Most times we take for granted these little things. The ability for you to sleep and wake up, a lot of us are taking it for granted. Why? Because you have gotten so used to it. Once you go to bed, boom, the next morning, 6, 5, 4 a.m., as the case may be, you're already up and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. But to sleep and wake up, I tell you, it's a miracle. There are thousands of people who sleep and never wake up the next morning. For me, I've had that experience, practical experience, a lifetime experience, where you go to bed and you're up the next morning, that person was not up. It wasn't because I was the smartest person, or it wasn't because I was so careful in my dreams. Oh, I was so cautious in my dreams. No, it wasn't because of that. It was because of God's grace and mercy that we are here today. Just to encourage you. So for me, one thing I'm grateful for today is the gift of life. It's the gift of life. Being alive and healthy. I can move my hands, I can move my leg, I can move my body. It's so amazing. I don't have to use external support to do these things. No, it's so good. I watched the video earlier. The little boy was in the hospital. He was doing his birthday. What happened? They had to blend the birthday cake, had some meat, and there was a pipe connected to his stomach where they feed him his birthday cake. He couldn't even eat through his mouth. I'm like, wow. So this morning I ate some fufu and a goosey soup. In the afternoon I ate some jollof rice. I didn't even struggle to swallow it. Just went in free flowing. I'm like, wow, what a privilege that I can eat, I can digest my food, I don't have um, stomach upset. It's just so amazing. It's so amazing. And for some of us, we have access to the internet. You know, we go on travels to visit villages, and there are some villages I go to sometimes. There is no electricity, there is no water, and I keep wondering, how do you people survive here? And they still live their best life. They are still one of the most happiest people you will see on earth. They are joyful, they are happy, they are excited. They only have moonlight, sunlight, and then maybe a lamp that is being ignited by some lights. That's all they have. And I tell you, this set of people are the most happy people you will meet on earth. And then we who have access to electricity, we have access to the internet, we are still grumbling, we are still complaining, we are still, pointing fingers and things that are not working out. For me, those experiences puts me in a place where I'm very intentional about being grateful for the little things. In the month of April, I was all healthy. I didn't fall sick. Even though there are days I get tired, all I had to do was to take a nap, take a good nap, and when I'm up, my body is back to normal. I'm good to go. I didn't have to take medication. I didn't have to go to the hospital. Just thinking about these things being healthy, I'm like, wow, this is something I'm really grateful for. And also in the month of March, the gift of friends, the gift of family, the gift of good people around me. I mean, it's something I never take for granted. Being alive and you have people who can call you to say, "Hey, Zion, how are you? How are you doing?" For me, it's priceless. It's so amazing. Having people to send you a text message to say, "Hey, Annie, how are you? How's been your week? I hope you're good." It's priceless. It's
Yeah.
priceless. So having amazing people in my life, you know, who are there to who I can lean on, who I can talk to. It's so amazing. And I'm also grateful for Jamie. Within the week, Jamie shared with the team that he was on a trip. And to go on a trip and come back safe and healthy, it's so amazing. I've seen people who just went on a 10 minutes drive and boom, they had accidents. For some, they didn't come out of it. To have somebody, he traveled a long distance, he came back, whether it's by air or it's by road, as the case may be. But to travel and come back home safely to your family, it's priceless. It's something that we all need to take our time to be appreciative about. I can go on and on about gratitude because for me, gratitude has been a major part of my life. And every day is an opportunity for me to stay grateful, to stay thankful, and just, you know, give all the glory back to God for His grace and mercy. Yeah, there's a whole lot to share. And we're inviting you, those in the comment section. You want to be part of the stage, you want to join us, free. The link is in there where you can be able to join us on stage and be part of the conversation. So you can share with us your gratitude. What are you grateful for today? What's that thing you're grateful for? Yeah, that's the link. And put it in your browser. We'll bring you up on stage so you can share with the world your gratitude. Remember, what you have to share today has the power to encourage somebody. People might not know that they have blessings in their life, but if you can share the blessings you have, it reminds them of the blessings they have, and they can be able to embrace gratitude. So, at the end of that, let me allow Mr. Ellie share with us the thing he's grateful for, even as we welcome my persons to join us on stage.
Yeah, no, so there's many more of our friends are here. I say welcome to all of you. Coach Ashif, I see you. How you doing? Simplicity is quite profound. I agree. Keep it simple, right? Why complicate things? Because we're human. We like to complicate everything. How you doing, Linda? Good to see you. The amazing Kelly's here. So Kelly's book is coming out soon. It is the recipe to cure or reverse diabetes, type 2 diabetes. So do connect with him. I know you have an event soon as well, Kelly, right? I think I saw something somewhere, right? But you have an event, a live event coming up. And so thank you for joining us. Kelly doesn't join events too often, right? But he's here. So that cheers me up. Well, of course, I saw Cyrus as well. I said, yes, Mr. Cyrus, the podcaster in chief, Mr. AI, and Mr. Many Websites, and Mr. Brandon. And I said, you get to do many things. Well done, Cyrus. I was glad when you join us. Colleen, I don't think we mentioned you yet. Maybe we have. Welcome, Colleen. Great to see you. And I say, I like Frank's comment. Frank says, my employment was terminated today, yet I'm grateful for hope for a better future. Yeah, sorry about the job lost, Frank. Alas, things happen to us every day. And we have to look forward to a better future. I mean, see, the one thing I'm grateful for, Mrs. Z, is that we never know whether what we're going through now is meant to be. Obviously, it is. So we're going through it. It's how we go through it. It's what we think, what we feel when we go through it. But again, I've learned in life that what is happening is it may be the right thing for us. But when it's not what we ask for, what we want, what we say we want, they will say it's bad. But I'm sure when you look back in time, Frank, this will be an opportunity for you. So rather than being a bad thing, it becomes a good thing, something that moves you forward in life, right? And I saw, as you were saying to say, I saw somewhere else that success is not the arriving at somewhere. It's not a destination. Now, success is the challenges we overcome on the way.
Absolutely.
So that is a different way of looking at life, because then you realize that things like this, Frank, they are just they're the challenges, and every time you overcome one of them or a series of challenges on your journey, you've won already, right? Now that's worth being grateful for. For me personally, I have great days because, as Maria said earlier on, the gratitude, say, I think as you say it as well, grateful for being grateful. So that's the idea, right? Gratitude is not a feeling. It's not because something happens. And gratitude is simply, it's a way of life. It's a way of being. Every day, like you and Jamie have said, we have a reason. Well, just being alive is reason enough to be grateful. It's not enough to truly wake up and say, "Thank God." Really, and I do that every day. Thank God, and I will write a whole list of the things I'm grateful for. Some have been, some have come to pass, some are, as Frank says, hope for the future. Things, and the good things that I know are coming. See, the reason I'm grateful every day is simply because I wonder, I literally wonder, how do great things happen to us? How does it happen that we think something and we say, yeah, I really want to do that. And then suddenly someone comes in front of us who can help us on that journey. Whether it's a friend, a collaboration partner, a client, suddenly you realize suddenly a miracle happens, and there's suddenly someone in front of you who can really move us forward. That I think is amazing. And that happens to us every day. If we look careful enough, we'll see that. You can say, your Almighty, whoever your Almighty is, it does miracles for you every day, and we just need to just be aware enough to and say thank you, each time something amazing happens. So the other way around that is just to say thank you every day anyway. Because the more we say thank you, the more good things happen to us.
Yes.
Even when we don't notice, right? Look, so I'm grateful for the friends I have. I'm grateful for having really good friends. who make my life a joy. You know, I say I'm grateful for the customers I get to work with, like William I mentioned earlier. I love to publish books. You know, so you know, every time I publish a book, you know, I am truly in awe, you know, of the Almighty's wonder, you know, Almighty's amazing, just amazingness. You know, the fact that I get to do what I do. I get to do what gives me happiness. I get to do it in peace and joy. And I get to affect someone's life. You know, just think about it, Mrs. Z. Years ago, you couldn't publish a book unless you were a publishing company. You know, and and even today, people still try and get published by big publishing houses, and it's nearly impossible. Whereas now, you know, I get to, you know, we get to help people build a legacy. You know, to have something that's going to be there long after they die, helping the world. Now that's an amazing thing that we get to do. You know, so for that, I'm always grateful. You know, so there are many more books I'm working on. Just starting on Dr. Yvonne's book as we speak, a life story book. Again, thank God for the friends I have. Thank God for their ambition. Thank God for their blessings that we can make this happen. You know, so you know, talking about hope in the future. And so I'm always grateful for our ability to think and find solutions. Again, I cannot, you know, we can argue all day. Is it my solution or is it God's solution? Just given to me to deliver. You know, and so every day, I just, you know, I'm amazed that we find new solutions. You know, my part in all of that is simply to bring it to life. Now to apply it to someone's life, and let's see the results, and let's refine that solution. You know, so you know that happens pretty much every day. You know, and for that, and I always thank God for the ability to learn, ability to grow, the ability to serve more. You know, that is part of what truly gives me joy. You know, and you know, the bad day. What's a bad day? Really? What's a test? Like I said, challenges are they're there to be overcome, and we always overcome them. You know, we all do. We overcome hurdles every single day. You know, so you know, none of them brought us down yet. Even if the next one brings us down, I'm saying, you know, but we've overcome so many. It's, you know, they're countless that we've overcome already, right? You know, for that, you know, we can still be celebrating who we are, what we get to do, and what life does for us rather than to us. Yeah, life is a joy, my friends. Life is a joy. Look, of course, we love to, as Jamie said, we'd love to hear your thoughts. We'd love to hear what you're grateful for this month. So Maria says, don't take things for granted. I always say, no, yeah, notice them. Exactly that, Maria. Notice the good things that are happening around you. Yeah. And just being alive is a good thing. Just being alive is the biggest big thing, as Mrs. Z said. You know, if we're not alive, nothing happens, right? Let's celebrate. It looks like the lots of things, but you know, you can't do anything if you're not alive. Start with that, right? So the fact that we're alive means that we have endless opportunities, you know, for miracles to happen. And miracles do happen, right? As you say, Maria, say gratitude does attract abundance. You know, no, life is not based on, you know, it's not based on is there enough, you know, and it's not, you know, it's not based on they have it all and we don't. You know, we are they. Again, that's an amazing realization every day. You know, it's not for people to do great things; it's for us to do great things, and we are doing great things. You know, let's build on that. Again, Maria, I agree with you. You know, so what you put out is what you get back. You know, this is what gratitude. You know, this is why we did this room once a month. You know, we just take time to speak out our thanks for the good things in life. And you know, as I say, Maria, I truly believe that it will bring more good things. Now that way, you know, hopefully, you know, if you don't share with us today, then you come and share with us next time. You know, and then So we'd love to obviously learn from you and enjoy your moments with you. As the coach says, every end comes with a new beginning eventually. So that's a good way to reframe those challenges, right? Life is not meant to be forever relaxing. Life is meant to be, it's a journey, and it is a journey, as I said, at the beginning, of overcoming. Each challenge we overcome, we're stronger. Each hurdle that we get past, that we navigate our way around, we're wiser. And we're better. A better place to withstand those situations next time, and we're also able to help other people. I mean, how many of us here, are serving on the back of our pain? Yeah, how many of us here turn our pain into purpose? I bet when our pain started, we're thinking, "Oh, this is the end of the world. It's terrible." And then now we look back, we realize that's our moment of transformation. That's our real gift. Our tragedy, our challenge, our hurdle that becomes the gift that we really have to serve others. That's a great. Yeah, this is a gratitude we can talk about all day. There's so many more amazing comments. So Maria says, it's amazing how people worry about the stupid stuff instead of appreciating things. Exactly that.
That's an interesting
Yeah.
spell. That's an interesting spelling of the word stuff,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yeah. That you are. We get to filter what we know, but we get the we get the point, Maria. I certainly do, and I laugh, right? Live, learn, laugh, love, life. Yeah, all the good things that there are. Mr. Jamie, I'll give you the mic back for a second, if you don't mind.
Yes, no, please, definitely, yeah. So you've heard from all of us, right? I mean, of the things we're grateful for, right? And it's different things. We all see gratitude a little bit differently, and the things we're grateful for are going to be different as it varies from person to person, right? And we see all the great comments in here coming from people too. So I would love to open this up. Zion posted the link in the chat. We'd love to see you come up on stage. Show your smiling face. Come up here and join us, please. We'd love to have you be a part of this call. We go for we do this call for about an hour and a half, and sometimes it goes longer because we get so many different people who want to come up and share their thoughts, right? You've heard from the three of us here. Maria says, I wanted to remain with some decorum. Yes, your thoughts are coming out loud. We appreciate your thoughts. Yes, whether they're explicit or not, we appreciate those thoughts. So, yes, please come on stage. I want to know where people are tuning in from too, as well. As people mentioned in the beginning, right, where they're coming from. I mean, we're spreading positivity, right? Every corner of the earth, like Zion says, right? I mean, you look at our hosts here. We are in 3 totally different spots, right? But we came together one day to have this, to bring the positivity, to bring this call. This is how the call was born, right? And now we've been doing this for a few years on here. So it's good to see a lot of the same people in here. Good to see some new folks as well. But yeah, gratitude comes in a lot of different ways. It really does, right? And a lot of times I feel like when people are going through things, right, and people are going through the motions and they're upset about things, they tend to forget about the things, once again, that they do have, right? Because they're so focused on, why is this happening to me? Why am I going through this, right? I can't take this anymore. There's just so much going on, and I don't think I'm ever going to get out of this mess that I'm in, or this, I see it all the time with people that I work with on their job search, right? They feel like I came this far and I'm stuck right now. I can't get into a new job. Nobody's seeing me out there. And I'm like, look, take a step back. Think about what you have right now. Yes, yes, I know it's a struggle that you don't have a job. Yes, I know it's rough right now because you're not making a steady paycheck, right? But you didn't just get this far to stop here and throw it all away, or you didn't just get this far to only get this far, right? you are going to get noticed. I tell people this all the time. You are going to get noticed. You're going to get found, and it's going to be, might be from a company that you never thought would find you, or maybe one company you never thought you'd even work for. But all it takes is one person to see your shine and one person to see what you bring to the table and give you that yes. And now you're back, and you're not going to care about all those no's you've gotten, right? Because you're grateful for the opportunity that you received, so we just got to think about those positive things and realize that they're going to come. Right. And Maria is saying that she has a newsletter. It's called The Well-Traveled Mind. It's about growth, transformation, and being grateful in relation to travel and its benefits. I think that's pretty awesome. Yeah. If you want to, like I said, you're sharing it in the comments here, and, we appreciate you. Obviously, I love different newsletters. I love the thoughts that people are sharing when they're sharing these newsletters. So that's pretty cool. I'm all about growth and transformation too. So I think that's awesome. And Christy is here. I know Christy. We're friends on LinkedIn as well. We're connected. She says, hello, everyone from Florida. Good to see you. I know it's warm weather down there, Christy. So I know you don't ever have shortage of warm weather usually in Florida. So good to see you here. Do we have anybody in the waiting room? I don't think we do yet, do we?
Before people come in, I just wanted to share this because usually I have a lot of conversation when it comes to gratitude, considering the fact that I get to have conversation with people every day, and especially when people begin to share what they are going through. And somebody asked, he says, Zion, you're always smiling, you're always happy. It looks as if everything is so smooth, everything is so good with you. You don't even have trouble, you don't even have issues. That's why you're smiling. Now, as the person was talking, I had to smile more. Why? Because it really gladdens my heart. I said, I might not be able to control what happens to me, but I'm always in control of how I respond. And that's why I love it when our brother earlier said, Mr. Frank said, oh, he lost his job, his contract was terminated, but he's still grateful. That's the right attitude. You might not be able to control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. And how you respond automatically controls the outcome at the end of the day. I tell you, people go through stuff. People go through tough times. People go through difficult times. And I love it when Mr. Ennis said, yes, tough times are part of the journey. Tough times are part of the journey to success, the journey of life. For some of us, the scars are visible. Why for others, the scars are not visible? But at the end of the day, both the visible and the invisible scars is what has brought us to where we are today. So the ability for us to look back and stay grateful for the journey thus far. Me smiling is not because everything is all rosy. It's because I've decided, I've made a choice to say, you know what? My circumstances cannot define who I am, cannot define my responses, cannot define my attitude. I define my attitude. I choose how I respond. I choose what I say. I choose how I react. I choose my body language, no matter what is happening around me. And when you begin to master this, it helps you to live life much more easier, much more happier, and much more fulfilled. Because at the end of the day, fulfillment is not all about having everything in the world. It's about appreciating the ones that you have. A lot of people think fulfillment is when you achieve all, you have everything. A lot of people who have a lot of things, but they're still not fulfilled. They still an empty vacuum in their hearts, as if they need more. But with the power of gratitude, it helps you find fulfillment in what you have, where you are, and the level you are right now in your journey of life. So I encourage you, right now you might be in the darkest moment of your life. Yes. I know I'm speaking to somebody right now. You might be at the point in your life where you feel so uncomfortable with the vicissitude of life. You might be at a point right now where, oh, it's about job, it's about family, it's about relationship, it's about health. As the case may be, whatever it is you are going through, I just want to encourage you. In the midst of what you are going through, you can still choose gratitude. It's a choice you have to make. Will you allow The circumstances define your attitude, or you choose the attitude you are going to put on in the midst of the circumstances. You are the MVP of your life. Whatever happens in your life, you are always in control. And the ability for you to recognize that you are in control, it will put you in the place of intentional gratitude. I always say this: being fulfilled in life or being successful in life, it's not a function of skin color, it's not a function of location. You decide it. Do you want to stay grateful? There are some people, they might have all the billions, but they are still not grateful. Why for some persons, they might just have a few thousands and they are all grateful. They are more happier than the person who have all the billions. Why? Because one has made a decision to say, you know what, I'm going to stay grateful in this moment of my life. So stay grateful. Stay grateful. Look at your intentionality. What are you have? I know we've mentioned them earlier. We mentioned some of the few things earlier, but you have to be very intentional about this. We might be grateful for you, but it takes you to embrace gratitude. You have time. We cannot. All we can only do is to cheer you up, to give you reasons why, to tell you our stories about gratitude. But at the end of the day, you are the one who can choose gratitude by yourself. Where you are today is somebody's prayer point. I don't care where you are. I don't care the level you are right now. It's somebody's prayer point. You might be thinking you are going through the worst, but there are people out there who are going through far much worse situation than you are. Than you are. And when you, wow, I thought I'm even in my life, but look at somebody even going far much worse than I am. So with that, you can put you in the place of gratitude. We have to stay grateful. Like somebody said, I think, and Coach Archie said, gratitude opens us to abundance. When you are grateful for the little you have, it helps you to be open to the possibilities that are waiting. Ingratitude closes doors. Ingratitude stop you from progressing. Ingratitude stop you from growing in life. Because what? When you are ungrateful, you don't see the reason why to move forward. Why? Because you are always seeing things that, oh, it's not working at all. Oh, I cannot make it. Oh, it's the worst situation. But what does gratitude do for you? Gratitude opens your eyes to see that, well, I'm grateful for what I have, but there's a possibility for me to have more. Yes, I'm where I am today, but there is greatness ahead of me. It opens your mind, it gives you more clarity. I tell you, for people like us who are always grateful, you can never see us sad. It is not possible. So when you are grateful, you cannot be depressed. That's a fact. This is well tested. I've been in a place of depression before. So I'm talking to you from experience. In that place, you are never grateful. You are always sad. Why? Because you are seeing the bad things, you are seeing the negative things, you are seeing the things that are not working out. You are seeing yourself became happier and excited. You
Yeah.
helped me to impact. Am I cutting out?
You were for a second. So let me bring
Okay. Okay.
let me bring up
Okay.
Uncle Mike up. But you're fine again now. And I never know whether it's me, whether it's my internet, whether it's your internet. So I always
Okay.
ask the question.
I think we already have our guests on the stage. Let me give them the opportunity to share with us the things that they are grateful for. King Jamie, you can pick it up and introduce them so that they can share with us the things that they are grateful for in the month of April.
You got it. I love it. Yes, let's go ahead and bring up some people here. We got I'm going to kick it off. Let's see. We got, well, is it two different people, Mike and Michael, or is it the same person or two?
No, two different people.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay, let's start with our friend Mike LeBlanc here. The man with the songwriting and everything, and the poet as well. So, Mike, if you want to go ahead and share your thoughts on what you're grateful for, please go ahead.
Well, as usual, you three gentlemen steal my thunder because I think we are just so in sync on a lot of this stuff. But for me, I had the opportunity to join in what was called a global activation of an initiative called Kindness Counts, and I posted it in the chat. It's hashtag Kindness Counts, and it's just real simple. It's the idea that it doesn't have to be a big, it doesn't have to be grand. You don't have to, broadcast it all over the world. Although we want to do a little bit of that because we want to draw attention to these little acts of kindness. So I actually wrote a song. I'm not going to bore you with that. If you're interested, you can follow up with me and you can see some of my articles online about kindness counts. But what I'm really grateful for is being able to take part of this because it's been on my mind and my heart for a while to do something about the chaos and the division and so on that we see in the world. And this was just dovetailed for me uh, to actually take action on. And so, throughout the week, one of the things I found is, it's gonna sound funny, and they're not big things, but I had because I was focusing on this, I had the opportunity to do just little acts of kindness. Like one of them was to let a gentleman, ahead of me in the grocery store. Another one was to let someone, they were trying to make a left-hand turn, and someone had to let them in. I let them in. So, and a lot of times, maybe we're already doing this and not paying attention to it per se, and that's good in some ways. But I think it felt really good to be part of this global initiative. And one of the things that I found interesting was there's actually a lot of nonprofits and a lot of organizations that are already doing this. So that was a bit of an eye opener for me, in that there were so many people already doing this either in a nonprofit, maybe even as part of their work. And so yeah, I'm just really grateful. Now, I had a bit of an epiphany, and you may or may not share my conclusion, but I actually believe that love and kindness actually have what I call a divine spark. So I believe that in large part, that's why we were created. We're created for relationship, and we're created for love, and kindness and love both need an object. And back to what Zion was talking about, if you are focusing on yourself and sort of your struggle, I think it's going to be difficult to really have a mindset of abundance and of choice and of agency. A lot of times we can feel like a victim, and so I just encourage everyone to try to shift their mindset a little bit. Maybe look for those opportunities for showing love and kindness in your daily lives, and I think you'll be surprised at how many opportunities present themselves. That's my share for this wonderful. Oh, and of course, I'm grateful for this show and all three of you gentlemen. It really does make my week, and obviously this is the month end. I really, really, really appreciate you guys doing this. So thanks so much.
Wow. Appreciate you, Mike. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. You're always somebody who brings a lot of energy. We love the music, obviously, you creating, and sharing with us. And we always appreciate your thoughts on here. And just glad to hear that these calls make your day better and your week better. Right? It's a good way to end the week, is what I always say. And yes, thank you so much for being the first one to kick off your thoughts on first person coming up on stage today. So hopefully, with you coming up, more people will feel the pressure off their back now to come up here and share their thoughts. So thanks again, Mike.
Thank you so much. I see Maria has to go. Maria, please share the link for your newsletter in the comments. Why not? You never know who wants to sign up, right? So please do share the link. And so I would love to have a read. I think we lost Michael. I don't know whether he just fell off. I think he just fell off, right? So Nikki, welcome. So Nikki, our poet and businesswoman. So glad you're here, of course. And Coach Carrie is here as well. If you haven't seen Carrie Connect, so she's got a show at the weekend and one most days, I think. So I'm glad you're here. Welcome, welcome, all of you. Again, as we were saying, of course, I don't know whether we mentioned you, Christy. You're here, so thank you so much for joining us. Indeed. Okay, so there's the newsletter. So Marie's newsletter is on there. The Well Traveled Mind. I wonder what that's about. Is it about travel? It could well be, right? It could well be. So I'm waiting for Sarah to join us amongst other things, But Mike, I think that you shared the realities of our existence, and I guess it's the small things that make the big things, right? So it's the small things in life that truly, when we look back, we'll realize we've come a very long way. Where are we now? So we're in April. We're about to go into May. That's a quarter of the year done already, right? And I think it's always good to ask, how's your year going? When you look back, and I think many of us will say that it's been great. Again, we're not saying that there haven't been challenges. We're not saying there haven't been some difficult days. But there've been more good days than non-good days. And we're all building. So we're building step by step. It's rare that happiness, joy, success comes in a giant leap. I know that saying, one giant step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Yes, isn't that nice, right? So I do always ask that question though. So now I've gone there. Now I've used that famous quote.
We had to explode a lot of rockets to make that happen, Annie. And I think I just sorry for the interruption, but
No, please, please,
I,
please.
I think sometimes we see successful people, and particularly like if they're serial entrepreneurs, and we forget that they had failed multiple times before making it big, or they worked for years, and then it's what's the expression? Something like along the lines of yeah, that everything works towards an end, and then it suddenly appears, and that's kind of true in a lot of cases, right?
Mm,
So,
mm.
and but the one thing I wanted to share, and I still don't completely understand this, but it bears saying, is that I think humans, for whatever reason, need challenge. We
Yeah.
need and some of us, well, I'm going to keep on getting back to this mindset, because this abundance mindset and this agency, because if we fall into this, and I'm talking to myself, by the way, just as much as anyone else,
Of course.
uh, when we fall into this victimhood, or this kind of woe is me, instead of looking around,
Mm.
look to help others, I just can't tell you how often I get this sense of fulfillment when I'm helping other people.
Yeah.
And I think that also makes you more attractive. Like, someone was saying about my energy. I think that you don't have to fake it. It's it's just, I mean, like this kindness counts week for me was just, I mean, I had songs coming out, I had articles I was writing, and it all flowed. And it to some degree it's a bit of a mystery. And I think that's okay. But my point is, I think if we can't adjust our mindset, and if we can't, yeah, you had mentioned, like, how's this year going? And I don't share this very often, but I have been unemployed 6 out of the last 8 years. And I'm pivoting into hopefully writing music full time. But I think that it really has given me empathy towards other job seekers, and I'm active in a couple job seeking groups, and I try to share in today's AI assisted world, some ideas about networking and so forth. But I just think it's really important to shift your mindset. And I keep on saying, and you're going to hear me say it all the time, is life happens for you, not to you. But
Yeah.
you can see that. You can see that. Oh, there's my hand. You can see that when you look back. So I think there's a lot of wisdom, or maybe even gratitude when you look back, and you can take this mindset to say, what what lessons do I need to learn, or what lessons could I learn, or am I learning through this, versus seeing it as this dark cloud.
Yeah.
Again, I'm speaking to myself as much as anyone. When you have this mindset
Mm.
of not abundance, and
Yeah.
I think if you can really think that way, and it may take time. The universe works in mysterious ways, but I think you'll be a lot happier in day to
Mm.
day,
Yeah.
and B, I just think we don't know, we don't know the impact that we have on others, and that's one of the things that I learned in this week. Is one of the ladies called it ripples. So we don't understand the ripple that we're creating when we're doing these things, when we're helping other people, when we're lifting other people up. Yeah, it may not have an immediate impact for us, but it does have an impact.
Yeah.
That's what I
Right.
got, and you guys do it in spades. So thank you again.
It's like dropping a stone in the sea. You think there's no effect, and then you realize that's what's going to make a wave further down the line. Look, thank you so much, Mike. Kindness counts. I like the concept. So I'm sure we'll learn more about the good work you do in that line in good time. Oluwafunmi, you're here. How are you doing? Can you unmute? Oluwafunmi is still there, right? Yeah. And Mrs. Z came back. You disappeared. Were you dancing too close to the edge, Mrs. Z? Dancing too close to the edge of the stage now. So maybe it's time to mention Maria's comments. It says before I go, I will say that we should all be grateful for Zion's smile. There you go. As it would be pretty hard to be a miserable sack and look at a smile at the same time. Isn't that so true, right? Well, at the very least, you can say God bless you with good teeth, Mrs. Z. God, he gave you good gnashes. That's what I'll say for sure, right? To Uncle Mike's kindness counts. Look, the point of hashtags, my
Fumi is on
friend.
mic now.
Go on, sorry.
Yeah, I think Fumi is on mic now.
She's unmuted. Hello, Funmi, please feel free. As soon as you start talking, I will stop.
Yeah.
How's that? So let's see if your connection works. Okay. Yay! Yeah, I hear you perfectly.
We can take it from you.
I don't think anyone's there. Can you guys hear me okay?
I hear you perfectly. So, although I feel we could hear her, but I don't think she's talking yet. I don't know whether she's waiting. I don't know whether the line's not that clear on her end. But when you do speak, we can hear you. Yeah, but look, let's carry on. So when you're ready, then please do try again. So again, Maria's amazing comment. Help us high is actually a pretty real thing. Mike was saying that we get joy from helping others, and it's not just joy. We get the greatest joy from helping others. Yes, there's joy in doing for ourselves, But when we help others, that it makes everything, it makes life worth living. It makes the challenges worth overcoming, right? So that if you want to find joy in life, just help someone. Nothing gets close to the joy we feel when we, give others, something with that, our time, our skill, or just a simple smile, just making someone's day, right? Making someone smile, making someone forget the issues that they're dealing with, even if just for a moment. Yeah, it helps, right? As Maria says, when you help someone, your brain releases chemicals like dopamine for reward, oxytocin for connection, and endorphins for feel good situations. Together, the dopamine, oxytocin, and endorphins creates a mild, natural high. Yes, I'm a crazy science. No, no, I'm a psychologist. So, and that's not crazy science. That's science, right? That is the science of gratitude. That's the science of helping others. So, Lord, for me says, I don't know. Someone, I heard someone just come in. Oh, yes. Who is that? Yes, and for me, this network is nice playing up. I just want to share that I'm grateful for the gift of
That's
kind.
me. That's me, Cyrus.
Is that you? A new brand, Mrs.
Yes,
Cyrus. We
that's a
have a
new
new
brand.
brand. Let's celebrate.
Hi
Thank God,
everybody. That's
new brand. What is
that's
it?
hi Jamie. Hi Zion. Hi Annie. Hi Mike. Hi everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm Cyrus, and I'm the creator of Whisper Boy and another 80 brands.
Sorry,
So this is Lasagna.
I have to laugh. That's lasagna,
This is lasagna,
the vegetable one.
which is vegetarian lasagna. Lasagna. There you go. So that's
If you don't know what Cyrus does, it doesn't make sense to you, right? See what Cyrus does. So let me say the same for you, Mr. Cyrus. Right? He buys domains that are a play on words. He's got 70. He's got 70 something of them already, right? 70 different websites.
80 something. Yeah.
80 something now, right? Perplexity. The T at the end, that perplexity. You think it's T, but obviously it's a big AI company. If you know who they are, right? So you got many different. Tell us about some of the other ones you got, Cyrus.
Any, I'm not here to talk about the brands. If
I
people
want
are
to.
interested,
I
they
want
can
to
go and
talk
check the
about
brands
them.
later.
I want to talk about that. I want people to know.
I'm here to talk about gratitude, Annie. I'm
And
here to talk about
that's why
gratitude.
I'm grateful to
Not
you.
not food. I'm not here.
No,
Okay, let's talk about gratitude. That's the kind of food, isn't it? Like
go
ratatouille.
on then.
I'm
Go
only
on
joking.
then.
No.
Go on then. Go on then. Go on then.
So yeah. So uh, if
Lasagna.
people are interested in finding about lasagna, please go to lasagna.com and check it out. So I'm here today to first of all say, first of all, I am grateful I'm alive and very lucky to be here amongst you amazing people. I've had the pleasure of being in this community for a couple of years now, and this community is growing bigger and bigger. So just well done for creating it. It's just brilliant. I love it. Another thing I'm grateful for is the fact that um, uh, it's been sunny today in the UK. Something that doesn't happen every day, right? It's not like we don't have the sun. We do have the sun, and I'm not talking about the newspaper, the sun. I'm talking about the actual fireball in the sky. Anyway, so it's been a lovely day so far. I just wanted to say a few words about gratitude. It's not that I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna share with you why is it that sometimes it disappears from your life and from my life and from everybody else's. Sometimes it disappears. It doesn't disappear. We lose focus and we don't see it. So um, when you look at it realistically, there are three pillars that create your core beliefs, right? So inside your mind since childhood, 3 ideas get formed and get established and get internalized, right? So one of them is like I am, and then something comes after it, like I am lucky, I am unlucky, I am an expert, I don't know anything. So things around you, things that surround you. Next one is your idea of other people. Other people are good, other people are bad, they're helpful, they're brutal, they're kind, they're ruthless, they're consistent, and like attributes of other people, right? And the third one is the way you see the world, like the world is safe, the world is not, the world is not is unsafe, the world is ruled by banks, governments do this, politicians do that, the world is not good, the world is bad. What really matters is most of the day is spent, think about it, when if you get the chance, right? If you have the time later on, like tomorrow or the day after, just check it out. Most of your day is spent in something called cognitive dissonance, right? So between those beliefs that you have and the stuff that is happening around you, some sort of conflict creates. And there's one thing your brain hates, and that's conflict and lack of consistency and harmony between your beliefs and what's happening outside the world. And if there is a conflict between outside world stuff and inside world stuff, that is when you do not have a good day, do not have a good time. Yeah, in your world, traffic should be light. It shouldn't be bumper to bumper, right? In your world or in my world, I should be always healthy. I can't bear to have a bad day, right? So that's when you lose the focus from the fact that you're alive. As my granddad always told me and taught me, any day above the ground is a good day, right? So I just came here to share that with you guys, and don't forget the fact that there's a reason your rear view mirror is much smaller than your front windshield or screen, as some people call it. So majority of your attention should be on the road ahead of you. That's the future. That's the way forward. Yeah, a little bit of attention needs to be focused on what's happening behind you as well, because you're driving, right? So look at this. Look at the difference between the size of these two. Imagine if it was the other way around. If the rear view mirror was the size of the front screen, it would be disaster. And that's the reason why some people's lives is disaster. It's a disaster because majority of the focus is about what's happened in the past, and focusing on the past is just ruins your day. That stops you from or worrying about the future. Worrying about the future or worrying about the past. Worrying about the past, depression. Worrying about the future, anxiety. And you forget about the biggest gift of all. They call it present for a reason, because it's a gift, it's a present. Thank you.
Definitely like that. The present is a gift. And so we get to live. It's not we get to. Maybe not. We get to enjoy the life that we have. I think that I agree with you. Our worldview does color what we think we're experiencing. I guess it's another way of saying our reality is but a story. What we experience is but the story we tell ourselves. The same thing, the same things, like as we said earlier, it's the same thing you can see as good or you can see as god awful. When in reality, you only know when the dust settles, and that's normally in that rearview mirror, as you're saying, Cyrus. But I think and more often than not, when we look back, Mike was talking about the fact that he's been out looking for work for the last six out of the last 8 years. Yes, terrible. Of course, terrible, Mike. But no, maybe not. Maybe God's been trying to tell you all this time, Mike. Your time to make music is now. Maybe that's what message, Mike, right? And eventually, you're coming around to that place. So again, the story. You can tell different stories, if you wish. But I think one story is that this thing is happening to us. It's happening for us rather than happening to us. We're not here to suffer pain. And what's happening right now could be the best thing that's ever happened to us. I say again, whenever I look in that rearview mirror, Cyrus, I always think, wow. Wow. I didn't see that coming. Much like I don't see the miracles coming in front of me either until they're here. It's an amazing thing that we get to live this great life, and we get to experience good things in life. Yes, Uncle Mike. When you were in London, it rained. It was a misty week. Yeah, well, when that's when you were in UK, misted for 2 weeks. Yes.
I was in the
Yeah.
Gatwick area, for 2 weeks, and we
Yeah.
had. I mean, there were sunny days. I mean, England is an island, but I'll never forget because I was
It's an
down near
island?
Gatwick.
There were
It
moments.
is,
There were moments of sun. Moments. Not
England.
not
but
days.
but we don't have misting. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. That's exactly what it was for about 2 weeks. But then,
We know what you mean. Us
but
British people know what you mean.
but then
We
my
say,
wife and I.
it's spitting. Any
No. There's something else in Cornwall, especially, right? It does mist. Literally,
Yeah, it does.
it's wet in the air, but it's not raining.
Yeah. I mean, it was like a heavy fog,
Yeah.
but it wasn't a fog; it was mist. Anyway, uh, I could get off. Um, but when we were in London with my lovely wife, we first of all, I was astounded by how well the maps worked with the. I'm saying Google Maps worked with the public transportation, including the tube. So anyway, we got around a lot in various places, and we walked a lot in London. But we were blessed with almost completely that whole week with sunny weather. So I've had both sides of the equation in the UK.
Yeah, no, today was a nice-ish day, but I'm never sure until I go outside. And even though, I said today it looked nice, but it wasn't the warmest. It was warm. I had my climate control on for a bit in the car, and then I turned it to heating. So it's our weather. We love it for what it is. And we love those 2 days of summer that we get to enjoy. Right?
And Annie, I agree with you. We don't know what the universe. I mean, I'm going to actually agree with Cyrus too. Is I after my quadruple bypass, I really started to focus on the present because we don't know what the future brings. And every day above ground is a good one. So I wrote in the chat, bring presence to
Yeah.
the present with intention for the
Yeah.
other. And anyway, yeah, I'll say absolutely. I think the time is now, and I want to encourage people too. And I've heard this over and over again, but it seems to be getting through my thick head. Is take action.
Yeah.
So regardless, I mean, and there's a bunch of different sayings around this, but regardless of just go out and do. Well, if you think you have the greatest thing since sliced bread, try it. You'll never know until you try, and if you don't try, you're going to be in regret, and it's not a. That's to me, that's where the idea of abundance comes in because we have choices now. They may not appear to be great. They may not appear to be choices. I think we have a lot more choices than we think. I think we have that we're a lot more connected than we think. And I think we also, when we need to, ask for help. That's what I got for you guys.
Mike, sliced bread was created in 1928. What were people doing before that? confused.
They were ripping it off. Do you don't know? Of course, they were ripping it
No.
off. They were rip off big chunks.
I'm only messing.
It
I'm
was
only
it
messing.
was barbaric, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, that's what I'm thinking. No, so, no, I do joke every so often that one of the greatest inventions of our time, probably one of the most pointless things ever, and it's that thing called a bread knife. So we'd have a whole conversation about sliced bread. I'm sure we could. I could even with myself. I think So it's one of those things. But no, look, I agree with you. Of course,
If you want to cut down
we
on your
never
carbs,
know.
any, you have to cut your bread. I mean,
Yes.
isn't there like a Pink Floyd song about that? Anyway, now that's
This
You
conversation
know,
is getting really violent now.
it's Friday night. It's all right. It's Friday night for us, Sarah. So it's all good, right? A bit early for our American friends. Yes, but the facts change. We never know what's coming, and things happen for a reason. I mean, that's the way I tend to look at life. And
No,
there's almost always this. It turns out nice again. Turns out nice every time. Something good happens every time.
I need. Did you say someone said I've lost my job?
Yes. Yeah.
Today.
Frank said
So
that
Frank
earlier.
was it? Yeah. So Frank, I just wanted to say I'm sorry that's happened, but I'm really glad you have the future ahead of you and have a conversation with Jamie because he's a career coach and you are more blessed than you imagine.
Yeah. 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 Today's challenge is about the chance for us to learn and experience, as Mike was saying. The point of today is that we take action. We live those ideas because that's our present, right? Now we implement those ideas and we see whether it's a transformation we're looking for or whether it's a lesson that we need to learn. It could just be another step on a ladder, right? But we need to take action. Right? We didn't actually need to, you know, being grateful, and as I'm sorry, we said at the beginning, it opens doors. It brings more opportunities to be grateful. But if you don't take action, then those opportunities pass you by, right? We have to live in the moment, yes, but we also have to take action now. And is it based on the calculation of the future we want? Maybe. But as I say, I want to believe, if you meditate, you're talking to God. If you pray, God's talking to you. Which one are you doing? How are you hearing your divine gift, your divine purpose for today? And when we hear the voice of our God, whichever God we have, I think we have a duty to implement what the voice tells us. Otherwise, nothing changes. When we implement, what happens is that we get more chance to be more grateful as time goes forward, right? That's when life becomes a joy. It's all about taking those steps forward. Trusting ourselves, trusting our the voices we hear in our head, trusting God, and trusting having faith, in a greater power than us, to help us move forward. I always find when we do that, we become more grateful. And that's the joy of our lives, of our lives, really, right? Right. Um, have we lost Jamie? I don't know whether we lost Jamie and Mrs. Z. I get a feeling we have. Have we? Yes, no? No idea. Right. Anyway, now we might talk about your squatter websites. Cyrus. They're not squatter websites. I think they're genius websites. They really are. They really are. You know,
but
um,
by definition, if he's grabbing them to hold on to, they are squatter domains. I didn't say that in the pejorative. Any, stop trying to stir the pot. And he's probably, I mean, they're fun too. So, you know,
Mike,
like, yeah.
Mike, I always say squatter or whatever. It don't matter. And call me what you want. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Exactly. I mean, the lasagna is a perfect one. You know, and particularly the you know the little saying he has down below. I think it's very funny. So and he that's actually a very good marketing ploy though, because I think humor is probably not well used enough in marketing. Everyone's so, pitch slapping everybody, and they're so intent on making that next dollar, making that sale. They don't stop and have fun. And Cyrus knows how to have fun. I think that's important.
You know, I want to have joy. I want to experience joy. You know, doing these brands. I'm having fun. You know. Sometimes you go to restaurants and you see grim people with grim faces just sat there. It's like I don't know. You look like a kid Santa forgot. And then you sometimes go to all you can eat buffets and you see the beauty of joy like oozing out of people's smiles, and that's what you want to see. You know, what's life without joy?
I agree. You know,
Well, the other thing, this is why I shouldn't say this, but he's not here, so I can. I am so happy to come to these shows because of Zion and all of you, but Zion's smile, and smiles are contagious, by the way. And there's something in that smile. I mean, first of all, my understanding is it exercises all these muscles and stuff in your face, and there's whatever physical reasons, right? But I think it goes well beyond that, and I think there's, you can call it emotional, but I would say spiritual reasons too. And so that does have impact in business though. And I, who are you going to, I mean, Cyrus said it perfectly. If your host or hostess at the front of your restaurant is, doom and gloom, and kind of projecting this why are you here, I may or may not just turn right around. And I've actually I write a fair amount of reviews, or I used to, for restaurants, because we used to go out all the time. And so I used to write on Google, and I also used to write on TripAdvisor. And actually, we were down in New Orleans, and there was a pretty high end fish restaurant, and it's kind of well known. And the hostesses, basically, we already had a reservation, and they kind of treated us like something, I don't know, like second class citizens. And I wrote a thing. I said, you know I said first to them, I was sort of trying to address them, and then I addressed the owner. I said, when you're doing that, you do impact the business, right? And I mean, we spent a nice coin while in New Orleans, and certainly at that restaurant. And I said to the owner, I said, we actually had two issues. We had the hostess issue, and then we had an issue with service. And he said, I'm so sorry. And I'm not saying I got them fired, but he said we had to let one of those people go. So my point in all this is, man, it's so easy to be nice. It doesn't cost anything generally, or I mean, you can give, and it can cost you that way. But I mean, there's Zion's smiles are just. I'm serious. It's not like I'm a vampire, like an energy vampire, or a positivity vampire, but those smiles just I can't tell you that it's. I want to develop. I'm one of these days I'll get there, but I want to develop something closer to that, because it is very, very attractive, and it's very uplifting.
Mike, if I had Zion's smile, I would quit whatever I'm doing. I would start modeling. I would start modeling for like toothpaste and toothbrushes and stuff. Honestly, he's got a magic smile.
Now, I don't know if he's actually had the professional shots, but some of the shots I've seen of him, he should be modeling if he's not. And
Zaya's Nigerian. Nigerians, they love their photo shoots, and they pay lots of money for that pleasure. And I'm just like, no, I'm British. I have no interest in it. No. If I want a picture taken, I call my son and say, "Hold the phone, do it quick while I'm not looking," and then that's how we do it. Nigerians, it's a party every time they go and do a photo shoot, and they do it. That's more often than people even realize, right? Now you see that many pictures that he has. Well, Lushala, I see you. Of course, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Nigerian brothers and sisters taking pictures all the time. They love to have a new look. But Mrs. Z Smile, it's a brand, right? But I think that there is a bigger point though, Mike, which is that we can all just use our smile to brighten people's days.
yeah,
Just like you said, it costs us nothing. Being kind costs us nothing. And I think that's our real selves. When we talk about authenticity, there's two ends. I think one end for me is using your God-given purpose and skills to affect other people positively. And the other side, is just being a kind person. Kindness counts, as Mike says.
I
Hashtag,
think
right?
it's that it's the universality of that, Annie. I think in this is my religious belief actually that we have a divine spark,
Mm,
and we can allow the world and there are I just briefly I'm going to say there are principalities and powers above us that are at war, so we should be aware of that, but we shouldn't allow that to color how we act in the world. And I believe that it is our purpose and to uplift each other. And like cost nothing.
mm,
Smiles again seem to have this contagious,
mm.
uh, thing to them. And I've kind of been experimenting this week. I'll just, like, for no apparent reason, I don't want to be creepy about it, but I'll just smile. And
Yeah,
you can see it, and people's like, well, what's he smiling for? But I'd rather have them wonder what I'm smiling for, and maybe even smile, or maybe if I do it enough, they'll start smiling back.
yeah,
um
yeah.
but I don't know, man. It's this week particularly, I've really been focused on it, really been intentional, and it just makes me feel really good, and that's why I'm here.
So Mike, I
Yeah.
think people in London, when they want to be left alone, they smile or make eye contact.
Yeah, the things we'll never do in London. But now, look, again, there's a point to this. I think being contagious. I agree with you, Mike. If you smile at something, if you give someone a smile, then they tend to smile back, right? And then they'll smile at someone else, because your day is suddenly brightened. And again, someone said, was it Maria talking about the science earlier? And there is a science. They say that literally, if we tell our brain that we are happy, in a good mood, our physiology reacts. We're suddenly more relaxed, standing up straighter. Looking people in the eye, and just being more positive. Full stop. And you never know where that's going to lead in your day. So with that comes doing good things as well. You feel, then you behave, and then you act. At least you take action. That's the way it works. Even if you don't say anything, just smiling is normally enough to put you in a good mood, and
Oh,
to
Annie,
give you a different day.
I have a relative. I said the same thing that you just said to her, and she said to me, "Well, that would be me, just telling myself a lie. If I
No.
say things are good." I was like, "No, you can tell yourself everything's bad when that is equally
That's
the truth or the lie.
yeah,
You decide your truth. It's not like
yeah.
it's not cheating. It's not fooling yourself. It's not tricking. It's not trickery. So your brain accepts the state of mind that you're in. So you
Yeah,
might as well dictate it to it, because at the end of the day, it's called mindset. Either you set it or the environment around you does it for you. So, so which one do you want to happen?
exactly that. I agree with you 100%. It's all about the stories we tell ourselves. And like, if you say this is awful, then your brain says it's awful, and your body reacts accordingly. If you say this is good, maybe there is something good in this situation. That's not delusion. That's honesty, right? And the experience will tell you, if when you live with that sense of optimism, that sense of the good more than the bad, more good things happen. Full stop. That's why I
Well,
say it's not a lie, Cyrus.
and
Go
and,
on, man.
and I look at it this way: if if you have a positive outlook, the chances are you're going to draw people to you. If you
Mm,
have a negative, so in some cases, it's sort of, I don't want to say manifestation because I don't like that word, but I do believe that there's truth in that if we are have a positive mindset, we will draw not just people but events. We
truly, truly.
because
Yes.
like I said with Zion, that smile is very attractive. He's going
Mm,
to attract people, and he's going to attract the right kind of people. Now,
yeah,
hopefully, he's also attracting some doomer and gloomers because maybe some of that will rub off on them, right? But he will by sort of by virtue of how life works, he will attract like-minded people to him,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that and in doing so, he will perhaps do things he couldn't otherwise. And it's not really fooling yourself, in
Mm,
my opinion. Cyrus kind of hit the nail on the head, though. It's which master are you going to serve? Are you going
mm,
to serve a master of doom and gloom, or are you going to serve a master of goodness, kindness, positivity, and whatever they say, whatever you spend your time on is your god. And
yeah,
I'm not saying capital G, but if you're feeding that
That's
negativity. And
beautiful.
by the way, I'm speaking to myself, so anyone out there that thinks I got it all sorted, that's absolutely untrue. Uh, but I'm working on the mindset shift, and
mm,
all I can say is self love, and I'm not talking about like narcissism, but I think self love is so important, and to understand that you're loved, be able to accept love as well as give it is so important, because if you don't have that basis, you're going to have to fake it, and I people sense that. So if you can get yourself to a place to understand that you have a choice, even in the worst of times, it's that those are temporary. And we've already talked about some of the things like going through challenges. I will say though, I think in my life anyway, after I've gotten through a challenge, I treasure the outcome, the positive outcome of
mm.
that challenge. And sometimes, by the way, I just recently went through sort of a mind sifting exercise, and I was grateful for, and this is going to sound kind of crazy, but I was grateful for being attacked. And the
Mm,
reason that's true was it gave me clarity about me, and
yeah,
that I need to, while I want to be open and aware and empathetic, I also have to protect my peace, as Coach Carey would say.
yeah,
We have to. It was a kind of a life lesson on, okay, Mike, you have your way in the world. I'm going to continue to be that way, but also be aware that sometimes we have to pull up the moat,
the bridge.
the bridge, or put a close a door. and
Mm,
and even with those folks, I don't lock the door, I close it, and if they show that they're willing to engage in a mutually respectful way, I'll absolutely reopen that door. And I've actually done that in my life with my family, so it can be done. I think a lot of it. I have a friend that he's awesome, and I need to talk to him more. But he basically is saying it's not what's happening to you; it's how you respond.
Always, 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 right? Cyrus, anything else you want to say before we go? 'Cause I don't want to keep you any longer than I have to, and say we are over. For those who are on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. And so like today's video, comment on today's video, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I say Philip's joined us. Philip, the replay is for you, my friend. Yeah, so glad you're here. Yeah, Philip, it was kindness every day. So he's a vet, a vet who talks about kindness because kindness really does matter. Cyrus, anything else you want to say before we go?
I just wanted to say thank you. I'm grateful for being with you guys. LinkedIn has made my life better. A couple of years ago, I didn't even know you guys. Now I do.
Amazing, isn't it? Amazing.
A better community, better trajectory for my business, and everything's just better. Everything's improved in the past 3 years of my life, and harder a little bit. Yeah, I know. I'm not I'm not denying it. But being grateful is not denying the hardship. It's just not focusing on it.
Indeed.
All the downtime. Yeah.
Exactly that. Look, I'm gonna go away dreaming of lasagna now because of you, Cyrus. So I will thank you. And I also agree with you. There's something remarkable, miraculous, when we can look as far as you and I can see back, Cyrus. Life has been good. That's what the last 3 years looks like to me.
It's been brilliant.
Truly, since this event came in, everything just been getting better and better and better. I remember there was a day in 2002, and I thought, am I going to see 2003 in my business? Because I had to change what I was doing. I was doing the pitch slapping Mike talked about earlier, connect and pitch, I call it, right? It wasn't quite pitch slapping. It was connecting and informing people what we're doing, inviting them to a phone call if they wanted to have a conversation with my clients. LinkedIn said it's connected, isn't it? It's pitch slapping. So I'm like, damn. But I remember sitting down there. If you read my book, the one behind me, Lessons We Learned from COVID, my chapter is essentially about those days where I thought I might have to go out of business, go and get a job. Then then suddenly events came in. And the rest is history now. The rest is history. It really is. Again, look, I'll leave you with this point, my friend. Those who know practice gratitude every day, whether it's by doing affirmations or whether it's by just literally, some pray, some meditate. I meditate, and some journal. I'm saying, you do if you can hear me, whether you're watching a replay or live now, practice gratitude. Start tomorrow. Start today. Start before you go to sleep. So practice gratitude. If you don't know what that means, talk to Mrs. Z. Talk to Mrs. Iron. He's a positivity coach. I'm saying practice gratitude, and you see how your life will transform. How goodness just keep getting gooder. I know what I just said. How make me laugh, right? It's like cheese, Cyrus. It's like cheese. I had to go there.
Grammarly would hate you.
That's authenticity.
That's a good thing. We love you anyway.
That's authenticity. I love that deep belly laugh, Annie. It's funny.
That's why he's got this community around him. That's why.
When you crack yourself up, well, he's probably laughing at us. He probably laughs at us.
No, laughing at me. I made myself laugh, right?
Yeah, he's laughing at himself.
That's worth it. That's worth it. Look, my friends, enjoy your weekend. If we don't talk, do join us again next week, same time. I'm sure we're going to have a topic that will be interesting for you about how to apply positivity in your life. Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you, Mr. Cyrus. Olufumi, thank you for trying. So everyone in the audience, say whether you join us now, whether you join us earlier, genuinely, say we appreciate all of you.
And thank you, Jamie and Zion as well. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Mike.
Sure.
Thank you.
It's gratitude for being able to have freedom. That's key, right? Freedom is in many different ways. Free of mind, never mind physical freedom as well, of course, right? But being free of mind and being at peace with ourselves. That's the ultimate state to be. But thank you so much, everyone. So enjoy. To do connect, but we'll talk later. Bye, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Cheers and thanks.
Every step forward is a new beat to your drama. She's success with global.media.com and celebrate it with or without champagne or rum. She's success with global.media.